In Ninjago, oh my story. In Ninjago, his form is like Ninjago, that's it. We want, oh my dear, what do you want? To meet Ninjago, oh brother, oh after. He was about to meet my eye, but didn't care. The video is coming. He watched it thrice, then went down. He still has a pilgrimage, likes and shares the video for nice views instead of what he does. The crime is my passion. These countries start with a few criminals. In Fenjiston, they attempt to steal a shipment, but the ninja intervenes. There is a debate on whether the ninja should be involved, but I am debating whether they are not our ninja, so many of them. So the criminals at their hour are asking so much because they feel that even the real ninjas are not expressing. They are selling a few kids to fight them. They stand up at their hour and some run with the shipment. It's normal. And if you ask where the ninjas are, they would be in the training center, bored, and they don't want to go out and fight because if you were present, you would think about the past season. She died by suicide and became one with the environment, leaving the team grief-stricken and unmotivated to save others. But the teacher is not ordering her time well, and they all go to gather the team again in order to achieve the subject of the investigation. At first, they go to the Kai, who opens a training center for children with special needs. But Zane and Cool kidnap him by force. And then they go to the lead, who is the general cleaning worker, but they kidnap him by force as well. They go out and find the last one left, who is isolated from the world, and sitting in the tower where Zane's father used to sit. But the ninja tells him that she did not isolate herself from the world and remain a semblance of the outgoing ones. After a little talk about human development, he is able to convince him, and thus, the team gathers again after they separated for a whole year. Then we go with a ship in the middle of the ocean, and there are waves. The weather's not helping at all, to the point that the captain loses control of the ship, and one of them falls and was about to drown if it wasn't for Nia, appearing in the form of a dragon and saving the man and returning him to the ship. They thank her and tell her that she is Nia the Savior. Nia expresses surprise and feels flattered by the name, stating that without someone's reminder, she would have lost her memory and forgotten her identity. She returns to the ocean and a lookalike emerges from the water. She's surprised she saved the man, as he was supposed to drown. She had to save him from the water for reasons unknown. After much discussion, she feels she lost something and asks him to accompany her to her destroyed ship. She tells him he is lost and she knows him, but only God knows. However, she also says that as long as he's not in the room, he will find her. Her hour on the surface, so her hours are shaped and appear on the water surface. And she finds a message that many people have sold her. In the annual memory of Nia's sacrifice, it would be an expression that everyone writes a message, that it is on a lantern, and it extinguishes on the water. And her hours, Nia begins to decide a message to one, until she finds a message written in it that Jay is not perfect without you. So her hours say, Jay, this is the one who was missing from me. And she starts hours thinking about everything and running on the tower that was in it. Jay to meet him, but as you know, Jay would be walking with the ninja to search for the subject of the Fenjiston. Due to her intentions, she began melting in the yaps. She had to return to the sea, meeting the stranger for hours. She would tell him she had thought about everything and knew who he was. Stay in the cloud if you think with you. The buzz that the teacher missed, whose name is Nia, who fought Orajira time and laughed with the sea. So this person is supposed to be the teacher. Nia is a woman I know, but the voice belongs to a man. If I'm mistaken, please forgive me. That's the important thing. Little Nia, the ninja's daughter, speaks to the teacher Nia and tells her that she wants to graduate to meet J and K. And the teacher and her friends all mean, but teacher Nia tells her it's impossible. She returns again as she was, and why is she? She returns again. My expectations are endless, and you have a tremendous power and live with all creatures. Despite Bahrain's objections, young Nia remains determined to graduate and regain her humanity. She realizes that to cancel her merge with the ocean using her power, she must lose her power and her hours, returning to her humanity. The ninjas at the headquarters are concerned about the Fenjiston theft and want her hours reduced. Jay has a plan to bring down the team and repeatedly suggests finding her. Believing someone will betray her upon arrival, people believe others are fleeing Fenjiston through a collapsed subway. Her hours request Zane to analyze the subway network, and they go for her hours. The line had been stopped for a while, and after a little inspection, they reach the Fenjiston shipment. And there they reach the nerves that are tangled with them, and it becomes a tough fight. Because if you're not thinking about the Fenjiston, it becomes invalid. The ninja fights with her hands at her critical hour. After a tough battle, she's on the brink of defeat. Fortunately, Ninja Gaiku arrives with his state to fight the criminals. They relax in the fight, defeating the criminals easily. They defeated the ninja who faced difficulty. The important thing is that they hand over the criminals to the police, while the ninjas are wondering how they were able to defeat the gang so easily. And of course, they are not aware that the Ninja Gaiku prefer to take them down themselves, despite the fact that they are the ones who are advanced and have finished the peace process. When the remaining time was upon them, and my doll was left to fight the renewal, they suddenly seemed happy to return to headquarters, wondering how they could agree on so much. Because they had been heroes for a year, they would remain after killing the living and nothing else. The team lacks strength, but some members had good intentions. Jay becomes obsessed with power and fights with him, retaining his strength only during the day, which he actually does to Seda. The fire emergency system releases a lot of water, and sometimes the water forms a spear. She asks for their help, saying she can return in their form. They separate her strength and freeze her with it before she wakes up, to better preserve her shape. The team stops trying to understand how to separate her spear power. They conclude that they can separate it by emptying it. Espera withdraws her power as she did with Kai, but the teacher does not cut them off and rejects the idea that this is also very dangerous because they did not believe that they had imprisoned Espera in the first place. If they wanted to return her, even briefly, there is only one solution. What is it? The ninja visits the ninja pillar to persuade him to free Espera, and reveals that Espera didn't destroy the original ninja text, aided the power of Koi, and was the reason for Zen's state. So they say, oh God opens up for you. You know, this is what God wills. And they say, go on, Radel, is this Espera who gets liberated? The ninja leave the mayor's office, understanding the order of life. They decide to infiltrate and forcefully liberate Espera from the mayor to save a secret intention. I swear to God. The important thing is that they actually seem to infiltrate the prison, but they split into two teams, Team Kai and Zane and Lloyd. Those who go to the prison to free Espera, and Cole and Jay, who go to the tower to take Espera's weapon, which is her strength, in order to freeze her solid. I mean, again, I don't understand what this deviation is. The important thing is that when Jay and Cole fear the tower does not bark, no one is present Espera at all during what Zane and Kai and Lloyd arrive at the secret place where Espera is imprisoned and negotiate with her at her hour. They will finally release her from prison in exchange for her withdrawing her power. And she doesn't cause problems after that and drinks milk before she sleeps and doesn't sell the bed. You're foolish to tell them about her relationships with these men. I agree it's unreasonable, but not because it's early. Not only will they liberate her, they will strengthen her again, and also strengthen her willpower. I mean, the important thing is that they will liberate her. After that, they will start to escape from the prison. Zane senses trouble and sounds the alarm, prompting the guards to investigate. During the commotion, they spring into action and attempt to escape. They are rushing to reach Nia before its collapse, unsure if they can face it again or enjoy it at all if it does. And after a lot of running, Zane arrives, before it collapses and freezes it again with his power, while the ninja arrives at the base patiently, and we relax. The teachers are not sure and are worried they are worried, but it means, okay, the important thing is that she tells them that she can't do anything without her weapon. So they tell her that her weapon is on the way, with Jay and Cole. But Jay and Cole say they went to the tower to look for the weapon, but didn't find it, because it was moved to another place. Bixel sometimes contacts the tower to find out where it moved the weapon. The location of the weapon in the sun is unknown, and she tells her sometimes that the weapon is on a truck heading to the dangerous archaeological site for a safer place in the ninja. She's preparing it. And they go to the place where the truck is, which is heavily guarded, but the ninja allows her, and they start planning, and they fear her truck with the weapon. But they surprise the ninja Haycob waiting for them, and they start fighting with each other for a long time. The ninja can take the weapon and run away, but on the other hand, the ninja Haycob knows their identity, because the weed mistakenly calls on Zane, and of course, when the aunt knows that the criminals are originally ninja, she declares that the ninja are outlaws, and whoever can deliver them to the police has a big prize. The important thing is that the ninja has a weapon for the asparagus that was expected. I mean, she does not fulfill her promise completely, and as long as she withdraws her power, she tries to withdraw the rest of the ninja's power, and they start to fight each other. Something unexpected happened. Holmes. The police must reach the ninja's hideout to arrest Espera and Barzo, the ninja. Espera fears returning to jail, but the ninja tells her that there is a secret passage they can escape through. But in order to tell her about it, she must save Nia, so Espera agrees. Nia's power is drained while the ninja is fighting with the Heiku ninja dolls. After a series of blows, Espera absorbs Nia's power, returning Nia to her normal state. Nia gradually agrees to Espera's terms, taking the weapon from her, replacing it with the secret passage, and allowing her to escape. As for the ninja, they achieve their goal by saving Nia. They are happy with their return to the day, which was supposed to be arrested, and all the ninja are back with Kexel, and the teacher is Nia. In the final scene, Espera sits on her throne in her temple, expressing sadness with her hourglass. Her hourglass was fit like a falling star. Glory to God. It fell from the sky and will descend again soon, though it is unfit and unnecessary. And he has a blue dome, and a screen comes out of it. And Shader tells Espera that she is invited to the Blue Lord's Council. Why? To take revenge on the one who insulted her? Espera doesn't believe it and agrees to continue with the ninja later. They were previously arrested for freeing Espera to save Nia, and now they are in court to be judged. But the problem is that Dareth is the ninja's lawyer, a known judge, known to be not merciful at all, and a bit of a judge's master. The blabbermouths are sentenced to 5 years in Ninjago's worst prison, from the curved to the strict prison. And if not vigilant, all those in this prison are ninjas who were originally arrested, so it's clear that the ninjas are not going to spend their best days there, basically. And indeed, every day the ninjas are waiting for the alarm to go off on them, along with the remaining criminals. And it's clear that they're not up to any good. But thank God he won't get involved and stop the singing before it starts. And far from the star, a new video was released on the Quartz channel. It's an hour-and-a-half long movie. The cat wasn't causing an incident. If you don't know that, follow the episode to find the film. But it's not our topic. You'll find a link below in the description. Don't share about the forum, go watch it, but let's continue. A visitor comes to Brother Lloyd, who expects the visitor to be the teacher. He encounters a peculiar individual claiming to be the Crystal King's messenger, delivering a message and asserting the Crystal King's existence. He gathers all the members of the ninja, and soon he will attack the ninja. With no lord to destroy it, Floyd asks the man why he's telling him this at all. I just want to accompany your face and you to make it happen, and there is no benefit in anything you do. I just want to accompany your face and you to make it happen. Floyd is slowly retreating, attempting to escape while considering his safety. They execute the raid, but unfortunately, the messenger escapes. Floyd stops and returns to his position. In a second, while we see the kingdom of Shantarova in the room under King Hazadur, the Crystal Ankabut comes to Espera, goes to Hazadur, and tells him that the Crystal King invites his council. 20 teams from the ninja, their hours, Hazadul. He says to him, "Peace be upon you, Alpha. Hello and welcome. I will go out to see their father's eye." Before we continue the story, I wanted to tell you that I have a new video on my channel, not an hour-and-a-half video, and it's already out. See, Uncle, you need to meet. The crucial thing is to watch it and share your thoughts in the comments. That's all for now, let's move on. The ninja eats and approaches them smiling, revealing that the new ninjas imprisoned him and are 100 times better than him, making the ninja insignificant in comparison. Angered, he attacks the ninja. A fight begins between the ninja and the criminals, ending with the security forces arresting them. On his return to Zanzanto, he declares, "It's time for the Christian king to reign." The ninja are training over 100 new recruits on the far side of the ninja training center. She regained consciousness, but found herself weakened, leaving her in a mental state similar to Ziftu. She starts developing her ninja tools, but her teacher, Mausa Aita, reminds her that she was a samurai before becoming a ninja. This reignites her passion, and she begins crafting samurai weapons to return as Samurai 10. In prison at night, he sees the Crystal Ankabut going to Bathor in the cell. Bathor agrees and escapes with them, but is he satisfied that the ninja would be a hostage to what happens? His joy tells him Abu al-Kanun and his mother must unlock the cell and head to Bathor before his escape. But as always, they don't need reminding that security believes they intend to flee. Hours later, the ninja returns and overcomes the protagonist once again. Similar to their previous encounter, the villains take a bus for prison work, but one of their vehicles breaks down on the road, requiring security to intervene and assist. But between us, it's obvious. It turns out he's a director, meaning he doesn't waste much time. And we'll see the new samurai who comes with intent and breaks the bus door and escapes while security is busy with the director. And as the director prevents him from getting on his car, and the ninja escapes, while she flips the bus, and they run after them. The security woman informs the panicked president and the police chief, who is allied with the ninjas, that their success will cease once the ninjas are apprehended and imprisoned outside of their control. Unfortunately, he's unable to do anything. Of course, the president freaks out more and orders all the forces to move to cancel the arrest of the ninjas, declaring them outlaws. The ninjas, pursued by the Arab police, attempt to flee into the desert. They gain a slight lead and manage to turn the situation around. But the problem is that their car breaks down. They try to continue their journey on foot, but the problem is that the tall, imposing police officer is still pursuing them and trying to catch up with them, so they have to act quickly. Some people might consider splitting up, so if caught, they could claim the director wanted it that way for his son as a stunt and diversion. Meanwhile, a girl named Sally, disguised as a singer, would drive the car. They don't believe in the ninja, they ride with the ninja. They don't believe in the ninja, they ride with the ninja. The problem is that Sally is madly in love, and when he sees the police cars turning around, he realizes she ran away from her father's house, and her father must have called the police to arrest her. She speaks Arabic during the ninja's warning about the police arriving, realizing they are not for her. Panicking, she exclaims, "Oh my God, I will get in so much trouble, Dad," as she tries to escape, snagging her watch on the edge while the police talk to the ninja. They surrender themselves, so Sally finally understands that they are running on the ninja with her bare feet. But the problem is that they are getting up from the edge, and she manages to fly her watch in the river, but the crazy policeman stands her watch point behind them in order to arrest them coldly. But luckily, the river freezes and they manage to escape from them successfully. There's a simple problem. Arabic has exploded. Sally will retire this Arabic, as her father was the one who originally exploded it. Zane tells her that her parents love her and would be happy if she returned home. They are more upset with the Arabic language. So of course, Sally's convinced by his words, and they go on their way home. Her father, who greets her with sadness, and after a while, Zane and Kai and the rest continue on their way until they reach home. Twitchy and Fuda, the absent-minded man treating him poorly, contributed to the confusion, forgetting things occasionally. Jay, Lloyd, and Cole reach Twitchy's house and gather there briefly. If their hopes depend on me, why did they separate initially? You're building and killing, and the director wants this much from me. Anyway, Lloyd is present. They tell them that the plan is that they know that the Crystal King is sending invitations to the criminals, and includes Baisur, Hazador, Espera, and a few more criminals like Valen, for example, or Carson Soto and so on. They understand, and they all become embarrassed. So the plan is that they kidnap one of the criminals who has not yet received the invitation and take his place. And at his time, they will bring them the invitation from the Crystal King. And they go at his time, do they know where? They excuse themselves from her counsel, but do not think much as the police arrive with Twitchy. The ninja pretend to run away, leaving the remaining criminal, the mechanic, to take their place without thinking. So he wanted to take members like in the 4th season. On the important time, the ninja goes around and they start fighting with him and they can defeat him and take his calmness and wear it for Lloyd. And indeed, he does not have a long time. And the Crystal Ankabut comes to him and says the same message. Floyd, of course, agrees and goes with him. And not in need. I tell you that the ninja are stalking Lloyd, so they know the important place by accompanying Lloyd. His watch goes and leaves behind a cap and a pen under the Ninjago. And afterwards, when he reaches the last hole, his watch opens a secret surprise that scares Lloyd. And his watch remains a vehicle that he rides in. And his watch moves at a very crazy speed. And the ninja try to follow him, but he is too fast. And the mechanic himself basically escapes. And the whole vehicle flips with them, and the ninja try to catch up, but he escapes from them with all ease to catch up. The Crystal King before he gets scared. And unfortunately, the problem is not here. The problem is that Lloyd's network has basically stopped and the ninja are not able to communicate with him or track him. The important thing is that when Lloyd arrives at the Crystal Bark Council, there are Espera, Bader, Hazador, Mizdor 10, and finally his messenger. The important thing is that they come with consequences. They say that within what is between them. And that after they have reconciled with each other from the inside, they discover that he is the mechanic. Or actually, Lloyd and Lloyd. He tells them to focus on the picture. He tells them he's coming, and they're green in the teeth and the palate. And of course, the knights come behind him before they flee. After he got a lot of hits, and a lot of hits from here and there, Lloyd's watch gets hit and he gets upset about it. But before he gets upset about it, his watch comes and the messenger comes and tells him it's strange. And God, all of this you wouldn't expect for whom, and his watch gets satisfied. Hiromi is believed to have died fighting alongside Lloyd against the Lord of Darkness in the Muslim Ondan. After the past part, you will find in the end that the top north of the program is according to the YouTube language you have. Specifically after you sneak into the Crystal King's Council and discover the nature of the Messenger's Hour. And the game Hiromi asked, how is Hiromi still alive? After the building fell on her father's brain in the season of Garmadon's sons? We go back in time with Hiromi after the building fell on her brain and her hour. She woke up in a familiar place, confronted by a strange being who said, I've been watching you and I'm impressed with your personality, but you chose a weak path to follow. And here he means Germder. And she realizes herself that he is the Crystal King. And he has the ability to bring her back to life again. God help. The important thing is that this is in front of her to be his servant as she was working for Germder. And her hour's harem agrees and returns to life. In her crystal life, the Crystal King speaks to her. And he orders her to get out from under the collapse. She refuses his order, telling him that she can't taste this destruction in her oil. Her oil gives her the power from the crystal that makes her able to taste the destruction and get out with all
ease. After that,
he orders her to go to the Temple of Power and place the crystal in her hand in the center of the temple. Her oil fills the temple with crystals. And the crystal place where she planted it produces a very large crystal we will see after a while in it. The Crystal King, the one from Abu Sahab named Jarmadul, will emerge as a master of oppression. But he is not the true master of oppression who previously fought Roy. Hermie initially refuses to help the master of darkness, but he tells her that light and darkness are in an eternal battle to maintain balance since the beginning of time. If she helps him, this balance would be disrupted. This battle will end. An eternal peace will prevail in time, so of course Hermie agrees and remains his messenger, and she begins to reveal it over time. An army of evils in Hermie. Of course, she decides to keep the first one with her, the money of the Fenjiston thesis, her words, of course, to the ninja. From Shantaru Kingdom, she visits King Hazadoro to negotiate a deal. Ninja, as in another episode S, her eightfold anxiety increases. Asasa, or in the sense of health before it exactly. I mean, Hermes gone from here, the ninja's gone from here. The important thing is, as we know, the ninja's shaking and shaking dolls. It was estimated that the extraction of Fangstone would stop, and Fermi would need to find another source through the Arabs. The ninja would occasionally shake down their criminals and find Fangstone, wondering who wanted it. Actually, let's go back with you to the present time, specifically with the lead that Hiromi linked with a chain from the base. She tells him her life story, which I haven't shared with you during her hour with him. Next, she will attack and destroy the training headquarters. She will also seize weapons from the facility, and there's nothing she can do to stop it. And she will put it all in his backpack. Honestly, she didn't say why she would put it in his backpack. But the key moment was when Lloyd sensed that his backpack was inside the vehicle. He started to approach Hermione and tell her that I used to love you on the idea I liked all this talk. Hermione at her time will tell him neither yes nor no. You won't sympathize. Get out and show her this room. It's time to count her and go after the service on the ninja. They are in a ninja infestation, chasing Lloyd's last known location. They haven't lost his drinks, but Hermione knows they are coming and is blowing up the infestation. The ninja spots crystal traps set to detonate the tunnels on their brain cap, causing them to flee and take cover. Joe's train is late and Benjua's watch is just in front of Lloyd's tunnel on their brain, so presumably they are dead. Lloyd considers joining the evil side as the hour of liberation approaches. She is a frozen cheerleader like her father, but Lloyd refuses to start the Hiroshima hours. She's toying with his feelings and intends to kill. He stayed friends with people like his teacher, Nia, and Pixel. When he gets angry, his eyes glow crystal-like as he gains a beautiful power, allowing him to break his shell. Light drops a hit with Master 10 and Hiromi. The angrier he gets, the more his eyes glow with an intensifying crystal color. He was about to kill Hiromi after defeating her, but rises at the last moment. Later, when Master 10 becomes angry for stopping the fight, he hits the ninja from behind, causing the ninja to attack him. The Bekanoa still live in Qatar, but their entire expenditure is destroyed. Their father takes them out like dolls, but why the shotgun? Don't we have an Uncle Makubi who moves a stone? What will you say? Even if he moves a stone, the tunnel will fall on their brains. They have different feelings and priorities. The key point is that they attempt to contact the scientist, not Bixel, to track them using the rope they are on. But there is no network coverage. Hazador, Espera, the mechanic, and Bethel broke into the training center with malicious intent. She, Bixel, and the teacher are moving away from them and bursting. After the teacher, the important thing they say is that they will count them walking against them staying. A weapon for the sponge jets, so the teacher is his oil. He tells them who broke me separates me. They all attack each other, but the cart overcomes courage's bravery, leaving her powerless as Bixel takes control of her mind. In every space other than the teacher, he drops a hit alone at every signal. In a big battle, it shows me why the teacher is important. The Crystal Army, comprised of crystal formations, attacks the teacher after a powerful hit, leaving him with no chance of survival. Unfortunately, the place gets destroyed, I warn you. Your signal's a quarter as strong. They take the weapon that gets tangled in every question, and they walk away after they do the order. It's assumed that it explodes after acquisition before its time explodes, a robot assistant for Bixel, and the teacher and Bixel taste cold headquarters. But unfortunately, he forgets about it, essentially. Hey guys, I'm here. The crucial thing is that the headquarters explodes with everyone inside, and they're supposed to die. Maybe it doesn't happen and they return later. We don't feel her leg at all from death in the first season. In the end, we see her wearing the samurai badge as she escapes the explosion. The good news is that Zane was able to express his happiness to her about their current situation. And they wanted to help themselves. The fate began to collapse altogether. And they almost died, if not for the samurai badge. Betchery was playing them at the last moment, but unfortunately he told them that he got to the training camp and the Asbanjitsu weapon, which is actually not new, but it is the samurai camp. The important thing is to take them with the camp weapon and not to think with the teacher. Nia and Pixel. What is the plan from Hirumi, who took the Benjitsu weapon? Even though it's considered a necessary evil, they don't know that it puts them in danger. Lloyd withdraws after that, and he is hanging from his late ceiling, and Hirumi enters on him and the rest of the villains with the Benjitsu weapon. So they do something with them we don't know at all. But before that, Hirumi goes to Lloyd, and she slips in him that they killed his teacher, and that he is losing. But Lloyd did not have any person originally left for him. And if he did not take the bait, Hirumi tries to provoke him and make him get angry and bring out the worst in him, so he remains from his father originally. The important thing is, when she finds that there is no man from him, her hour strikes him, and the shortage of weapons for Spengitsu begins. For his part, Lord Garmadon from Taney, and indeed the shortage of success. And Lord Garmadon comes out of the blur he is in, and he materializes in the real world, from Taney. I feel we won't be done with Lord Garmadon. Every time the director gets annoyed with the script, Jay stands between us, and Lord Garmadon returns again. Lloyd draws his extreme power and bursts it normally. Notably, Lord Garmadon has power for every sign, and they remain a sign of Bromax. And he makes the weapons of the Spinjitzu with them. Lloyd tells his watch, "You lost to me twice, and your father lost to me. The man succeeded with great power, so why do you underestimate me? Let's finish this." Lloyd's watch then falls on him, saying, "The third time's the charm, God willing." As his watch powers up, the director can strike a chord he is attached, and he breaks the sense that he is tied to it. And he comes out running with ease. And you have the power of love and his truth, or the director is out of wisdom. So logically, it means Beowulf. The important thing is that Lloyd, after he comes out, he escapes while Mr. Oppression orders the villains to chase after Lloyd. But this time he kills him, basically. Hiromi attempts to persuade Mr. Oppression that the Lord will not oppose him, suggesting they try again, but Mr. Oppression maintains he will face death. Of course, Hiromi naturally bites her teeth like this, and she says, "Ready, ready," and then she goes after Lloyd. The one with the director's power can defeat all evils alone. The evils will have to accept it. This language remains a show of manhood from both sides. They were plotting to overthrow and kill him. Lloyd, a normal girl, used a strong rope to catch them off guard, causing them all to fall on purpose. There's a chance he will escape, but when he reaches the temple's end, he finds it floating in the sky. Actually, even if he gave him a second chance and she didn't want to kill him, it would appear to her that she was really afraid of him and that he was a threat. From this height, he would die anyway, so Lloyd reaches out to her, and reaches out to the height, telling her to live or die. We all have to be, and he takes her watch from her hand. And they all agreed on this agreement, but unfortunately, they fall into the water, and they can't get anything. This is a force majeure. I'm not the one who killed her, but my escape naturally reflects on her. Lloyd saves her. He sold his place to the ninjas to roam, but the problem is it's on an island in the middle of the ocean, and the ninjas won't reach it without the flying ship that the police issued remains. They are outlaws, and they will need to go cut a portion of Tani and get angry with the rest of their stuff so they can go. Lloyd the Limit. He is completing after the part that passed, which if you did not see, you will find it in the verse above, right or north, specifically with the ninja who are breaking into the police center to steal their changing ship. And after a while, they manage, thank God, to get angry and escape, and they meet after a while on the island that is on it. Lloyd on the other side remains to be Lloyd, and Hermie are vying for the role of Tomo Jerry, and every now and then, one runs behind the other, until they fall into moving sand and decide to help each other to escape. But even when they get out of it, they continue the work of Tomo Jerry, and they get tangled up until Lloyd ties it up to secure its escape. But the problem is that this roll and Espera are two birds on a crystal dragonfly roll. Lloyd searches for Hermio, who gets scared and confused, but realizes she can free herself and assert her position. The three attack Lloyd, but the ninjas and teacher arrive in the flying ship. A fight ensues between the ninjas and Hermio, and after many hits, the teacher sees the Lord of Darkness. At that moment, a shock occurs, reversing the ninja corps, because we are not ready yet. They fought the Lord of Darkness and saved Lloyd. The Lord of Darkness almost killed Hermio for her ability to kill Lloyd, unaware that she still loved him. Hermio tried to control herself, but the Lord of Darkness pushed her to keep writing. The day she realized her actions, she would collapse. The Lord of Darkness planned to attack Ninja Joe's village to lure the ninjas into a trap. When they came to defend it, he confronted them with a huge army. The followers of the Lord of Darkness are made of fangstone, meaning the power of the elements is gone. Except when they leave anyone, they try to follow the Lord of Darkness like them and become like zombies. Meanwhile, Master Lloyd reveals to his students that he has been keeping a secret from them for a long time. And in fact, the Lord of Darkness doesn't die at all. He is a representation of evil. So as long as there is evil in the world, even after millions of years, there will still be a Lord of Darkness, the Star. But they can all do it. He just needs to appear every now and then, and that's it. And the teacher knew he would return again, but he didn't expect it to happen this quickly. I mean, we are still fighting him in A.
Friends and colleagues?
I mean, the important thing is the teacher doesn't think about his time. It's crucial that someone sent them newspaper photos depicting the evil actions of those they fought, such as spears and grenades. In the end, he was unaware of who was sending the pictures. But the teacher misunderstood that he sent them to warn of the Lord of the Frog's reappearance. And whatever this was, how would he know about this subject in the first place? And as long as the Lord's aid of oppression will return, how would he know how to defeat him, supposedly? I mean, the important thing is the teacher's the one who says it. Lloyd Winnie suggested that they go check on him because this mail is basically unknown. Lloyd Winnie would go to verify with the effort of the mail that they say the person who sends these pictures, and they would go their way to verify with him. While Zane and the rest of the ninjas are trying to fight the Lord of Darkness, unfortunately, it was of no use. Vex tells them to take a piece of the crystal and hope to examine this crystal and find out how to fight it without transforming. Let's follow Lloyd, Nia, and the teacher to the apartment the mailman sold. When they open the door, they encounter Garmadon, who had fled thinking it was his time. Garmadon is startled upon seeing them, but not because he knew his place, but because he was ordering pizza, thinking they were a team and treating them like Garmadon. Anyway, he lets them into the apartment, and he starts telling them what happened next. When the ninja saved him in the Battle of the Realms, he felt strange, as he was always the villain who destroyed his ninjas, not the one who saved them when needed. He had to retreat and spend some time with himself to figure out what he really wanted. He claimed to know all about evil and have an excess of good, but could he actually do good even on his own? He doesn't grasp why people assist each other or do seemingly unnecessary small tasks. He sits in his apartment for hours, contemplating the nature of good and trying to do it. He interrupts his contemplation to eat pizza, then continues sitting alone with himself. Lloyd becomes frustrated with the teacher as he starts sympathizing with Garmadon, leading to occasional outbursts of anger. Garmadon says they didn't come to hear his story, but to learn how to address the injustice. However, Garmadon tells them the answer is God. I was just trying to keep my distance from their teacher so they'd leave me alone. I'm certainly not arguing with you. I mean, he's done with the weapon and violence and turned to peace. I mean, the important thing is, Lloyd tells him, okay, thank you, do something on, and no need, oh, wise son, and leaves him after that and walks away. But then he discovers an explosion in Garmadon's power. So he investigates and realizes his mistake. Saeed al-Zalam's soldiers blew up the Garmadon apartment and destroyed it. The girl Garmadon loved betrayed him, causing him to become upset and transform. Lloyd uses his power form to deliver a powerful blow that affects Saeed al-Zalam's entire army. He realizes the crystal's spell doesn't affect him, because he is from the power. Lloyd devises a plan to transform his power text, knowing he is battling Saeed al-Zalam's forces without affecting him. Anyway, when they did it to them, he finishes grinding them, he takes his time, and they go their time. The ninjas gather at his headquarters, and the teacher doesn't tell them his time. Lord Garmadon is against the power of the elements, but he is not against the power of evil itself, except when it is the power of the Oni. So Lloyd must learn how to bring out the power of the Oni from within him, and fight with it. But where will Lloyd learn this from? With God's blessing, Uncle Garmadon will decide to help Lloyd, despite being attacked by the ninja, who initially rush at him. However, Lloyd and the teacher understand everything, and Garmadon begins to train Lloyd personally. Garmadon. And the one who is under pressure on him is basically a mess. What will he build? I mean, since Lloyd is not tasting Garmadon at all, the subject will be very difficult. Lloyd. I don't know if he can reach the power of the universe, because he wants to reach the power of the universe. Professionally, he must reflect everything he learned with the teacher, because everything has its opposite. So the teacher is his hour, focusing on this sentence. And he says, the strongest form he has is the universe. So he must have the strongest form of good power. God bless the prophet. May God open up to you. Oh, teacher. Oh, the important ones who will protect them in this dialogue. Who is left? Is it Mother Lloyd Misako? Confined to the library, she has been studying for a while and will raise a question on the topic. The teacher assures me that she will go to her. While what Garmadon is completing, Lloyd's scandal, in order to reach the cosmic power to the extent that he is telling him that I am easy to hit a dog on this talk, and now I hit you. You are happy, Lloyd. I mean, he used to pull the Alexandrian unit like this and get angry to the extent that the cosmic forces begin to work inside. This is what Garmadon really wants. But Lloyd hands himself over to his anger and his power goes away. And of course, Garmadon continues to humiliate him, while he is happy to win by telling them that she has turned vehicles into a very happy use of elemental power through her. The ninjas, of course, get excited. They rush to save people from under the hand of the army of the Lord of Darkness, and those who say they are basically falling apart in them, to the extent that they are trying. Heiko, the ninja, loses their way initially, but thanks to God and Bixel's efforts in making vehicles, they become successful. Finally, the ninja are able to defeat the soldiers of the Dark Lord's army, thank God. But roughly, I gave them an eye and there is no need. Bixel's vehicles have a major issue. They can't handle the ninja's power for long and freeze solid, forcing the ninja to improvise. They have to take a break to cool down the engine after a while and then continue and so on during its hour. Will the teacher not wear the first teacher's armor in preparation for the big battle with the Lord of Darkness? During what we'll see Zane launching missiles at the flying base of the Lord of Darkness. And from the other side, the ninjas will take the flying ship to push the base of the Lord of Darkness away from its source. Then, the Lord of Darkness will release another crystal to fight Zane and the flying ship, and they were about to be defeated. If a dragon was stuck in Garmadon's base and about to explode, Garmadon would get angry, turn into a green monster, and release a bomb in the dragon as revenge for his plantation. I'm not sure, am I missing my composure in music television? Does the Lord of Darkness wear it so we can stay safe? The problem is that when Hiroshi sees Garmadon riding on the back of the dragon, and landing on his right side. Of course, Garmadon can't fight her because he loves her like his own daughter, except he's shocked that she's actually alive. And your heart breaks, Garmadon. I mean, Lloyd is your son and not a dog. And even if he was your son, would you shoot him? Anyway, my point is that there are two problems left. The first problem is that Zane is causing an incident with the plane and is scared in the towers. I mean, the trade is intended to cause a solid incident. I mean, he falls the important. The second problem is that the teacher is scared with them. In the battle at the Temple of the Lord of Oppression, it was as if he was on a pilgrimage to confront him, man to man with power. Her hour begins with a great battle between the House of the Lord of Oppression and the teacher, an outstanding battle that doesn't end with simple tactics. Unfortunately, it ends in favor of the Lord of Oppression, the teacher who falls from the edge of the temple. The one who, if not watching, would be flying in the sky after so much, would go near the crystal and come to hit the flying ship. Her brother. We have inserted a vein in the text, and its face is its hour, and we have hardened in the second text. Only the ninja remained, as I told you. He did a good job, and the ninja had similar needs. At its hour, the Master of Darkness sits on his throne, declaring the end of Ninjago. Will this continue? You'll find the part you missed in the icon at the top left, based on your YouTube language setting. Master Wu falls from the first pillar, but opens the wings of the first Master's staff, and flies, with the dragon of the Master of Darkness behind him. Master Wu then takes off the wings to fall into the pit of Ninjago. Before Jay drowns, his hour arrives with the crane's claws. On the other side, the army of the Master of Darkness, led by the mechanic, goes to attack them. She is in the middle of the ship, surrounded one by one, until Jay's hour comes with his vehicle to fight the mechanic and the soldiers of the Master of Darkness. But as you know, courage overcomes fear. He was about to lose, but Nia used her elemental power to explode a water bomb, regaining her powers with the pearl's love, truth, and wisdom. Jay and Nia will escape, and when the time comes, Jay will tell Nia, this is crucial. Bentamar remains the ruler of the new kingdom of Malabia, if he believes so. He communicates with them strongly, and they ask him to move his army to fight with them. The teacher reads newspapers with the kids who were eager to fight against the government. However, the teacher admits he was wrong and tells them not to fight the government right away. The ninja, unprepared for the Lord of Darkness, had no choice but to retreat and gather strength. Suddenly, they heard a roar as they fled south from the Lord of Darkness, who was trying to surround them. So the teacher's a newspaper game they fight, and they were able to successfully rescue the dragon. So at that time, the teacher returns to safety. From the second, they can save Ninjago, and he will use his radio to tell all the people of Ninjago that they are fighting with all their might, and they will not surrender. At that time, he passes a newspaper game that they help people during what a strange lady was asking to see the teacher when they were scared of knowing that she was Haja Misako, who the teacher says discovered the way to help them defeat the Lord of Darkness, and who will appear as the teacher expects. The image represents the power of the elements and is named the Dragon Image. The problem is that the writing is in a strange language, and they cannot decipher the codes to view the original image. In the following text from the ship, it contains Lloyd and Garmadon, and the beacon, it is clear that Lloyd does not like Garmadon at all, and he refused his help in everything. The crucial detail is that they escaped from the policeman who was resolute in apprehending them, as they were outlaws. They head to the Serpentine battle in search of anything that could aid them in defeating the Lord of Darkness. But Garmadon keeps crushing Lloyd's spirit, telling him that there's basically no hope. Lloyd gets upset when he uses his fierce image, telling him he doesn't want to use a loony image just to avoid being scared. Lloyd is stubborn and ignores Garmadon's warnings that he's making a mistake with the farm. Garmadon tells Lloyd to be patient, but Lloyd dismisses his father's advice, saying he's just as stubborn. They keep searching the library for any Serpentine willing to join them. Lloyd faces off against Lord Garmadon. Lloyd hardens his words against Garmadon, accusing him of ruining his farm. When Lloyd notices Garmadon trying to turn things around, he distances himself, demanding proof of change, actually, in the future. Bexel will fight the Lord of Darkness's soldiers, and in her silence, she discovers a plane Zane had an accident with. The issue is that Zane was so attached to the plane that his head was dislocated. Stop. In her hours, Bexel collects a piece of Zane and goes with it to Uncle Burke's tower to see a solution. But the problem is that a few soldiers of the Lord of Darkness come in the way to destroy Bexel and Zane. But thankfully, the remaining criminals run with Botobus to help them reach Burke's tower. They reach Burke's tower, Abu Am Disney. The important thing is, Bexel arrives with Zane to Burke's tower to fix it. He destroys Abu Am Disney's house. After that, he goes with Kai, who flips his Arabic side cool and tries quickly to turn right, so they can escape, before the Lord of Darkness dies, and they make a lawyer for the flashlight. But the problem is that Cole has a frozen brain, and he is not in the world at all. Kai tries to send Cole to escape, but the watch thief takes him from sleep, and follows their trail to expose them. Kai tries to take Cole and hide, But Cole, of course, the son of the fool, calls the thief and tells him we are here. Kai attempts to kill Bather, who is worthless, using elemental powers. Skylore arrives, takes Kai and Cole's power, and battles Bather. A little. She then builds a wall between them with Cole's power so they know they are fighting. The blade tells Kai and Cole the news of what is happening in the city, and that he is involved in everything. And then they receive the teacher's message on the radio, and then he tells them the news does not sleep. And they understand that this is not any code. He means that he is in the headquarters of the newspaper, meaning his shell and Kaios Caller head to the place. And after a little walk, they arrive and meet the teacher, who tells them about the dragon picture, and he is trying to decipher this code. The speech has been read for a long time, and he is trying to concentrate, but he doesn't understand it at all. Fumisuko worries that taking a break might lead to reaching a solution simultaneously. The one who says that he can determine the radio waves, the ninja in the lab. Not every word they say, one by one, and he knows their world, and of course he reached it. He knows it. That Bixlana general changes like this. The boys of the samurai gangsters to help them fight this injustice, thank God. It's good to get better and return to the carrier again. The important thing is that the teacher is her watch. She asks from Cool that he completes Princess Fanya. The important thing is, the one who is Queen Fanya, or our sufferings, who is the queen of the kingdom of Shintaro, in order to give them her watch. Despite the support and discussions, the same talks reveal their sufferings as they speak with the kingdom of Malibia.
This is important.
Everyone naturally speaks to Princess Fanya. He must get a specific radio across Ninjago. Her servant will ride with her daughter in the mail truck to the market and arrive at the broadcast station, talking to her hourly. She comes to help them, but Nia and Jay go to Ninjago Beach, and it would be better if she stayed in the girls' room so he could come to help them. But she is hesitant. He is strong. She hasn't fully returned and is unsure if she ever knew how to do this. But Jay encourages her when it's her turn. She spends her time in the room with 2 fish and waits for the answer. And he is not sure if she had left and reached the beach or not, and she is not sure if it was the 2 fish. They will receive a message, though it's impossible for a shark or any fish to talk. Lloyd and Garmadon are caught in any serpentine to help them. It's highly likely that no one, including Garmadon, will help the ninja, not even the ninja himself. Upon returning to their teacher at the Tak Jarweed headquarters, the teacher informs them about the line Misako discovered, which is written in an unknown script. Even when the ninja tries to follow this image, he doesn't get anything. The issue is that Hiromi interrupted the teacher's signal and realized he was at the newspaper office. She says the Lord of Darkness sends his army to destroy them while the ninja works. They try to reach their distorted image in vain. Birji tells them the army of the Lord of Darkness is near, and they must flee, shocking them. Garmadon chooses to battle them solo, being the sole one capable of impacting them, but Lloyd refuses to abandon him. The ninja, teacher, and Misako, aided by criminals, would distract the Lord of Darkness, making him focus his forces on the newspaper headquarters during her assistance. Garmadon chases Lloyd from behind and corners him as the major battle begins between the army of the Lord of Darkness and the villains against the ninja, the teacher, and we see Garmadon and Lloyd. He brings them to the Lord of Darkness and Harumi. Her time comes and a big battle full of punches and you're trapped here with strength. How can I tell you? They spent an entire episode hitting each other, along with the same discussion about the battle between the ninja and the army of the Lord of Darkness who arrive at her time. The soldiers of the kingdom of Shintaro and the soldiers of the kingdom of Malebia in order to help them in the battle, as they are all challengers. When her time comes, they try to make a move. This dragon-like creature normally triumphs with its skilled wings, but now they impact the Dark Lord's soldiers and can obliterate them unharmed. For £25. Her hour remains a laughing result of the victory. Near Madonna Lloyd, after many strikes, the Lord of Darkness defeats Madonna Lloyd, and her hour tells Madonna Lloyd who he is. I was behind everything from the start, including giving you strength and the burning. You are a coward, my son. Hero is shocked to learn that the Lord of Oppression ignited the great Lamftars, who killed her parents. She decides to side with Lloyd and Garmadon against the oppressor and the one who perpetuates the battle. Tragically, Garmadon gets seriously injured and dies in Lloyd's arms, causing the language to become violent and turn into a picture. The power of the Kunio remains unbroken, and between its hours, it hides a lot with the Lord of Oppression. But when he sees his reflection in the crystal, he refuses to let this Kunio make him weak again. The Lord of Oppression exploits the situation and throws the ninja off the temple, revealing that defeating the ninja was never his true intention. Lastly, he aims to fully enhance the power of all the elements. Abumana is right, the power of creation means power in its way. And unfortunately, the teacher will be late on the day of the ninja. The ninjas are combining the weapons of Espinjitzu to confront the Shadow Lord's power, risking the destruction of the power of creation. Afterward, the important ninja will emerge with the Espinjitzu weapons. The beam will counteract the beam of the Shadow Lord, but the beam of the Shadow Lord will be stronger than the ninja beam, and every ninja will try to follow me throughout the city. No one, Lloyd, and he will fall from the temple as I told you, and then we will see. His spin jutsu weapon was the power of the elements. After its destruction, his hour transformed into a golden dragon ridden by Lloyd, who turned his hour into a golden dragon he rode. Lloyd continues to fight him with the help of darkness, and this time, the confrontation is in his favor. After numerous strikes, he harnesses the four elements' power against his foe, freezing him before Lloyd lands a shattering blow, making him vanish once more. The effects of his hour appear on his face, turning him back again, and everything returns to its natural state. Lloyd urges them to escape before the place collapses, while Garmadon, unaware that he symbolizes his own death, tries to frighten Lloyd into reaching his full potential by saying, we are actually fleeing between us. They flee at that hour, and everything returns to its natural state again, regardless of the disappearance of the elemental forces, and the place in nature returns again. If you didn't know, this means the ninjas have lost their power, but as you're aware, their power will return with love and honesty. The season ends with the ninjas fighting Garmadon and Colossus, Shintaro, Molybdenum, and Ninjago. They decide to rebuild the training base to start anew, and they continue this afternoon. Don't forget another benefit is coming soon. We continue your speech and commento. Don't forget to like and share for the latest updates. That's the gist of the story with you.